A child processing the grief of losing his parents finds his life on Earth lonelier despite all efforts from his aunt to raise and support him. So he hatches a plan to get abducted by aliens. It's Elio. I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm leaving the theater. All right, this is Ronald, and I am leaving the theater after seeing Elio. Elio, written by Julia Cho, Mark Hammer, and Mike Jones. Directed by Madeline Sharafian, Domee, and Adrian Molina. Starring Yonas Kibreab, Zoe Saldana, Remy Edgerly, Brad Garrett, Jameela, Jamil, Shirley Henderson, and Brendan Hunt. It is just me today. All right, so Elio is the newest Pixar movie from Disney. This is one of the rare cases in which they are not making a remake. And let me just go ahead and say, if this episode sounds different, better, or worse, it's because I'm recording on my phone. I left my recorder at home. So if you listen to this and you're like, wow, this is way better than normal, please don't tell me, because I don't want to have to start recording all of these on my phone just because the audio is better. It'll give me, I'm telling you, it'll stress me out. Just stick with me, listen to this episode, and let's just move on like nothing has happened in next week. Anyway, Elio is the newest Pixar film. It is about a young boy named Elio who loses his parents in some sort of undisclosed accident and is now living with his auntie Olga, and he feels alone in the world. Him and his auntie keep talking past each other, and Elio ends up asking to be abducted by aliens. His auntie is in the Space Force. Through a series of incidents, he reaches out to the aliens. They respond to him, and he ends up going into space. He goes to a part of kind of like the Space United Nations. He meets all these aliens, and while he's meeting them, there's another more oppressive regime, either United States or Russia in this case, just trying to kind of bully their way into this United Nation of aliens. He befriends the oppressive alien nation leader's child. They become friends, and they hatch a scheme to try to stop the oppressive nation from destroying the United Nations of aliens. If you watch it, you know all of that to be true. I almost walked out of this movie 2 minutes in as soon as it is revealed that as soon as it's revealed that Elio doesn't have his parents and lost him in an accident. I was like, here we go. Because the auntie was like, what did your mom normally order for you? I was like, okay, mom's dead. No, okay, both parents dead. Here we go again. I think this trope is getting old. I think it's getting old. And as somebody who, like, again, I feel like they keep forcing me to be like, hey, as someone who's been through this, I don't know if this is comforting for me. I don't know if this is something that's working for me. I don't know if this is something that I need to constantly be reminded of, or I don't know if this is the only thing that people need to overcome. I think Inside Out does a very good job of having a child who is in a home of two parents who is still experiencing anxiety and still has obstacles to overcome as a result of this. So it just feels hard to watch yet another Disney/Pixar movie in which the conflict is, I don't have any parents and I don't think I belong, which I feel like all of us feel on some level, but there's got to be a less tropey way to deal with this without it being parent drama. I think it's limiting in terms of the ways in which we ascribe problems. Like it doesn't have to be the same problem over and over again, but it just seems to be that way in most of these Pixar and Disney movies, where it's just, I'm dealing with this loss of my parents, and the whole thing is an exploration of grief. That's what this movie ends up being. It's an exploration of grief and loneliness. And I just don't know that Coco exists. You know what I mean? Like, Pixar, you did Coco. Why did you need to do Elio? Like, it feels like I don't know how many stories of the same thing do we need, but you did an exploration of grief and loneliness with Coco. Granted, it feels like you leaned more into the grief with Coco. With this one, you kind of like approached it differently, meaning that you kind of looked at it from the perspective of it's more metaphorical than it is direct in the case of Coco. Cause I like the fact that Coco, they go to the land of the dead, you know what I mean? And they're actually visiting upon their relatives, which I think is important. Whereas this is more metaphorical in what they're dealing with. It's fine. You know, towards the end, I teared up because something happens with two aliens that's very sweet, and a parent and a child. And of course I teared up. But other than that, I talked to a colleague before I saw this movie, and I said, hey, what did you think about this? I was talking to Linda Holmes, and she was like, yeah, it's like a mid-tier Pixar movie. And I think that's right. It's a mid-tier Pixar movie. I mean, a mid-tier Pixar movie is still pretty good, but I don't know. There were several times I wanted to leave because I wasn't really excited about the direction it was going. I was not surprised by the ending whatsoever. Everything felt very predictable and the same, and I just don't feel like this movie brought anything new to the table. So with all of that being said, I give it a 3.5 of 5 stars, 3.25 of 5 stars. It wasn't 3.5. It was a 3.25 of 5 stars. Honestly, this is a 3-star movie. It's 3 of 5 stars. It's fine. Like, take your kids. They'll probably like it. I don't know. They'll probably forget it. I'm already forgetting it as it stands, and I'm already irritated. You know what? 3 of 5 stars. Just leave it at that. And with that, Leaving the Theater is a production of Oh It's Big Ron Studios. I mixed this episode, and this episode took serious labor. I had to record into my phone. Had to plan for that. Couldn't run home and get the recorder. So if you're listening to this and it sounds different, this is now what I have to deal with tomorrow when I try to cut this tape. Hopefully it sounds good. Who knows? If it will, I won't know until I'm actually doing the editing. It's a bit of stress that is added along the assembly line of making these episodes, and I'm the one that has to deal with that. If that is of interest to you, if you're interested in supporting the labor that goes into making Leaving the Theater, please become a patron through patreon.com/leaving the theater, or go to the link in our show notes. By doing that, you get access to my vlog, which I have not updated in at least a month, but I will be updating soon. Forgive me. It's just I'm busy making the podcast, but I will be back to the vlog. But know that every penny that you spend in the Patreon is still contributing to the existence of this show. So please go to patreon.com/leaving the theater, or go to the link in our show notes. Show art from Heather Wilder. Theme music by the mysterious Breakmaster Cylinder. For more information about Elio, check out our show notes. You can follow me on Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, Threads, or Letterboxd at Oh It's Big Ron. That's at OHITSBIGRON. You can find out more about this show and other Oh It's Big Ron Studios shows by following us on Instagram at Oh It's Big Ron Studios. Leaving the Theater will be back soon. Thanks for listening.